Soldiers of the Russian army raped girls and women aged 16 to 83 during the occupation of Kherson Oblast in southern Ukraine, according to the report of the United Nations Independent International Commission of Inquiry on Ukraine. The report was released on 19 October 2023. The UN Independent International Commission of Inquiry on Ukraine has previously documented cases of sexual and gender-based violence committed by the Russian military in 9 regions of Ukraine and on the territory of Russia. According to the report, some Ukrainian women were already pregnant when Russian soldiers raped them. During the occupation of Kherson Oblast, Russian soldiers raped a 16-year-old pregnant girl and women aged 19 to 83, the report stated based on investigated cases. According to the report, Russian soldiers beat their victims. Several women had broken ribs and knocked out teeth. Most incidents occurred after the perpetrators broke into the victims' homes and threatened them with weapons or articulated the intention to kill their relatives. In some cases, the same perpetrator raped the victim 2 or more times. In 2 instances, Russian soldiers raped the victims in a group. One of the victims and her husband were shot dead by Russian invaders after they reported the rape. At the same time, the report stated that the Russian military committed additional acts of violence against the victims of rape, including brutal beatings, suffocation, strangulation, stabbing, and shooting near the victim's head. In several cases, family members were forced to watch the rape. One of the witnesses of the rape reported that a Russian soldier raped her pregnant daughter. The report provided details of some cases of rape in the occupied Kherson Oblast. In March 2022, a Russian soldier came to the home of an 83-year-old woman and forced her to open the door. He asked her if she knew anyone who collaborated with the Ukrainian armed forces. The Russian soldier repeatedly beat the woman with his rifle during the interrogation. After the interrogation and beating, the Russian soldier ordered the woman to undress, raped her, and continued to rape and beat her for several hours. He threatened to rape the woman's husband, who lived in the same house. The woman's husband had a disability. After the Russian soldier stole some belongings, he left. In March and April 2022, several groups of Russian soldiers repeatedly visited the home and shop of a married couple. The victim reported that the soldiers looted, forced her to cook for them, showered, and slept in her house. During one of the visits in April 2022, one of the Russian soldiers threatened to kill the 59-year-old woman and sexually harassed her after his comrades locked her husband in another room of their house. Later, in April 2022, 3 Russian soldiers broke into the same house at night. 2 soldiers beat the woman with guns, threatened to shoot her, and fired at her husband but missed. After that, they tore off her clothes and raped her. She tried to escape, but they grabbed her, dragged her into the house, and raped her again. In July 2022, a Russian soldier came to the home of a 75-year-old woman, where she was alone to protect her property. The soldier attacked her, hitting her in the face, chest, and ribs. The soldier ordered her to undress, and when she refused, he tore off her clothes, cut her stomach with a small sharp object, and raped her. The following day, he raped her again and beat her. As a result, the victim suffered several broken ribs and knocked out teeth, the report stated. Apart from sexual and gender-based violence, the UN Independent International Commission of Inquiry on Ukraine has gathered new evidence of violations of international human rights law and international humanitarian law and corresponding crimes committed by the Russian authorities in Ukraine. It has investigated unlawful attacks with explosive weapons and their impact on civilians, torture, and deportations of Ukrainian children.